Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to WPX3 Radiocast. This is your humble host, Kanoa Aliyah Zoel. Now, today is 8/9/2020 on the Gregorian calendar. I know this has been a long time coming. We are going to get into a particular PowerPoint that I've authored and laid out and just brought it to your attention, bring it to the forefront of your consciousness. This is information to make you think, to help you grow, and to set you free. Peace, love, and light to all the gods that are in the building, in the room. Please show me your love. Please do me a solid and share this information, because this will set not only you free, but the entire realm. Many greetings from all those who have vibrated your way into this reality that we share. Let's hop right into it. Real blacks. Real blacks. We searching for them real blacks. Yeah. Alright, Real Blacks. Author Kanoa Ali, Maku, Nubi, Kaiser, Serpent Panther, Commander Ka, to the Damaru Society, Moon Empire. We're going to go over the index. So you see we got a lot to go through. It's probably one of the longest, if not the longest, PowerPoint we're going to go through. What is the right to self-determination? Okay, we're going to go over that. We're going to go over etymology review. What is etymology if you do not know? What is black? Okay? If you don't know, if you have not seen my last video, it's going to be here. Because obviously this is going to be about the real blacks. If you don't know what black is, don't worry. You will be without a doubt of exactly what black is and who fits the description of black by the end of this video. So strap in and we're going to keep it moving. Semantics versus etymology. So if you don't know what semantics are, you need to go back to the basics. You need to go back to the first video. It's in this playlist. So make sure you go there first, because I'm not about to go over it right now. What is swart? What is dark? What is pale? What is whitish? What is of? Because a lot of y'all say of and y'all don't know what of means. So I'll make sure we go over that too. What is bloodless? Do you fit the description? Do you fit, or do they fit the description? Do you fit the description, or do they fit the description? Let's do a visual comparison. What are iconic pale bloodless things? And we got two entries. The pale horse of pestilence and vampires. What are blue bloods? And then we're going to go into conclusion. So, saddle up your bags. Get your water. Whatever libation or energy to create this time and space for you to be able to intake and ingest what I have to present to you today. I am your guide, your host, your brother, and your chief. Let's get into it. Real blacks. What is the right to self-determination? The right of self-determination for all peoples was first enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. And you can see the source at the bottom. Self-determination, Article 3. Indigenous people have the right to self-determination. By virtue of that, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. So what does that mean? That means you have the right to self-identify. You can determine who you are without any intervention. Do I think that is good? Absolutely not. The UN is a goddamn satanic ring of demons. And if there's a description of who's who, as long as those who are who they are claim to be who they're supposed to be, we wouldn't have these problems and we wouldn't need so-called the right to self-identify. What the hell does that mean? You have the right to self-identify. It's like you saying, oh, I'm a penguin. I got to accept you to be a penguin? No. No, I don't. Do you fit the description of a penguin? If you don't, I can't label you a penguin. Okay? If you don't fit the description of white, guess what? I'm not going to accept you as white. It's just straight like that. I don't care what the UN says. Okay? Now, there was this long stigma, or even, I hear this so much. Well, they're not going to allow us to be white. What are you talking about? Right now is the best time for you to ever claim you're white. You know why? Because they are doing it and giving you the green lights. All the lights and all this stuff is to our benefit as well as to our so-called detriment. Okay? Now we're going to hop right into etymology review. Okay? So this is from the Etymology Online Dictionary. All right? So etymology, facts of the origin and development of a word. All right? So we went over that, and if you need to go over that again, make sure you go back to the basics. What is black? Black. We're going to read between the lines a little bit, just like we did in the basics, but absolute dark, absorbing all light. Okay? To burn, scorch. It's an adjective, so it's a description of the noun. So the noun is at the bottom, so that is the subject, the person, place, or thing. So let's start at the bottom. Make our way back up to the top, which is describing. So the color black. So this is in reference to a color. Oh yeah, black is a color, apparently. All right. So it says here also ink. Okay. Black, adjective. It says here the dark-skinned person, African. Okay, African. So keep that in your head for our African exposed video. Okay? This right here, the meaning dark-skinned person, African. So, when I told the Noon Boom guys that you can't be a black African, I guess I was wrong. Because this says you could be a black African. Now, just because you could be a black African or a black American or a black period, you're still going to get treated black. There's just no way of getting around that. So you want to be black? Hey, you could become black. You could become black by putting the ink, okay? Put the ink down and claim it, then it would be so. That would be the narrative. Okay? But you don't fit the description. All right? You are $5 black. Okay? You have been tricked, put under MK Ultra by the Googles, the media, the social medias, and the satanic medias of the government, the CIA, and so forth and so on. Synagogue of Satan pushes out these satanic movies. These artists and these celebrities that go around saying that they're black. And they're not. They don't fit the description. So, black is synonymous with pale. It's synonymous with very dark skinned person or dark colored person. It says here, black, the opposite of white. So we're going to go with semantics versus etymology. So people hear this, so-called blacks, the $5 blacks, say the very darkest color, owning to the absent or of or complete absorption of light. So they're saying they're the darkest color absent of complete light. The opposite of white. That means you're dead. This is civil mortuus. Okay? But they don't care because they're so deeply under the wicked spells of the warlocks, the black warlocks and the black witches. Here we go. Black. Word for black was swart. See, swart. Black means pale. There we go. You see that? What I'm saying? What is swart? Swart. It says here, dark, wicked, infamous. Okay? Dark colored black, dirty, dark black. Who's the dirty ones who had to get cleaned up? The pale ones. The pale ones were dirty. The pale ones are pale. Okay? The pale ones are wicked. Okay? So, let's keep on going. Hey, y'all like that one? We're going to keep it rolling. What is dark? So a lot of y'all say, I'm dark. Y'all just love being dark. And I'm like, why? Why you love being dark? Let's look up what dark is. Dark, noun. So this is all, everything else is based around this. Absent of light. So when you're saying you're dark, what you're really saying is you're dead. Dark and dead are kind of synonymous. Look at this. Dark, absent of light. Nighttime. Night. State of ignorance. Figuratively in the dark, in a state of ignorance. Earlier meant secrecy or in concealment. When you're silenced, when you are put into secrecy, that's a form of death. That's why they put you in a coffin in some of these orders. So dark, without light, lacking light or brightness. Sad, cheerless, sinister, wicked, to hide and conceal. So that's what's going on when you're saying you're dark. Not radiant or reflecting much light. Meaning concealed or secret. Not fair. You're not a fair being. And if you're on this frequency, you are going to project that. You are going to manifest these types of attributes. This is why it's so important to know thyself. So I'm presenting self. And I'm showing you word for word, bar for bar, pound for pound, what is what? What is whitish? Now, I put a picture up of Drake in this original when I finish with this, but I don't know where it's at right now. But I put a picture of Drake for white-ish. You know what also Drake is? He's Jew-ish. So what is ish and what is white? Bright, radiant, clear, fair, light to shine. So maybe you kind of got a little bit of shine. Maybe you kind of shining. You kind of got a light. You're light-ish. You're brighten. You know what I'm saying? You're bright. I would consider Drake to be an ish. He's Jewish. Of, in later use of, the nature of a character of. So it says here of. And if it's of, what is of? What is of? Of. Away from. Or from. Dutch. Off. Down. Off or away. So when you're saying of, when you say Jewish, you're saying you are off or away from Jew. So you're not a real Jew. You're Jewish. A Jew ain't got to say he's Jewish. Just like a Moor don't have to say he's Moorish. Because you're not away. Or off. Okay? Okay? Okay. So what is pale, y'all? What is pale? A human skin or complexion of a whitish appearance. You see that word, whitish? So someone who's kind of looks like they got a little bit of, but they're bloodless, pallid, pale. So who kind of looks like Drake, but bloodless, a little bit more paler, colorless? I could see this chick right here fitting that description, can't you? This seems she seems to fit the description. And this is a Google pic that comes off of collinsdictionary.com. So this is in the English pale section of collinsdictionary.com, labeled pale. I did not put that wording there. That was there when I came to the picture. So literally, if you look up pale, you will see this woman standing next to it. Is that a mistake? I think not. Okay? Not to any professor, not to any scholar, not to anyone in the general public would say that this lady wasn't pale. I would say that. And if you want to debate it, come on up, step on up. We'll have a debate about it, sure. But it's really gonna be me just listening to you ramble, and I'm just gonna disagree and shut it down because it's not true according to the words. Unless you gotta have like something. If you want to go to different languages and stuff like that, that's cool. But only when you're using those different languages, let's you do it. If you're not using different languages, we're using the languages that are in use, which is Latin, which is English, which is Latin and German. That's all that is. Latin, English might as well be called Latin. But whatever. So here we go. Bloodless. Strength of blood, powerless, without spirit or energy, free from bloodshed, that of cold-hearted, bloodless. Now, when I showed y'all in the last video, I showed you the only time I ever seen anything pale and shining, and it was the vampire Edward from Twilight when he went into the sun. So that is very esoterical and occultic. It's occultic truth right there. The vampires don't die in the sunlight necessarily. They transform. And some of them, some of them combust. That's why they're talking about the sun's coming back, and a lot of people are going to start spontaneously combusting, literally melting. It's because they're vampires. You think that vampires are fake, but I'm telling you, vampires are very real. We're called witches and warlocks. Okay? So do they fit the description of black? When I do a general search on pale, I don't see you or I. Look at this. I don't see you or I. Now, we just have to keep it real. We have to stop with the false narrative. We have to correct the narrative. We have to set the record straight. Because if we do a visual comparison, who fits the description of black? Pale, colorless, wan, use the dark-skinned people. Okay? Who's that? Who fits that description? You know who I'm looking at. But this video is for you and not for me. And all I'm doing is presenting the information so you can make the choice. Who is it? Yeah. Iconic pale, bloodless things. The pale horse of pestilence. Revelation 6:7-8 tells us about the fourth seal. When he opened the fourth seal, I've heard the voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name of him who sat on it is Death. It was Death, and Hades followed him. So this is esoteric as well, and this is telling you something about death and pale and its unity, or its combination, or its synonymity, or its symmetry. Now, it says here, the horse is the color of death. You see that? The horse is the color of death. So if pale is death, and he's pale, and pale is black, that means you're dealing with death. So if you're identifying with death, so help you God. Iconic pale bloodless things. Vampires. Spectral beings in a human body who maintain semblance of life by leaving the grave at night to suck the warm blood of the living as they sleep. Now, most don't get that. Most people don't hear that part as they're asleep. They be like, what are you talking about as I sleep? You know, the vampire can't get me while I'm asleep. Bullshit. 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 Vampire is, yeah. It is. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Witch. Holy. Hold on. Let's go back. Bam. Bam. A witch. Have you ever seen the movie Hocus Pocus? What were the witches doing in Hocus Pocus? Luring the children to suck their energy from them. They gave them a brew which illuminated their essence, and then they started sucking their energy out of them. That's vampiric, y'all. Come on, y'all. That's vampiric. Witches are vampires. Any show you look at right now, the witches and vampires are synonymous. They often even play different actors, or the same actors. One actor, one moment he's a vampire, next moment he's a witch. Like the Vampire Chronicles or Vampire Diaries, whatever that is. The originals on TV right now. Okay? Come on, y'all. What are blue bloods? Now, you're looking at a picture here from one of my favorite vampire adaptations, which is a very dark story called Interview with the Vampire, written by the vampire Louis. Okay? So, Louis has blue veins on his face, and he's dressed as a European noble. So, I see blue veins, I'm thinking blue blood. What's going on with this? It says here by Brian Rommel, he's an alchemist and a metaphysician, or a metaphysician. That's what it is. He answered back in 2012, this term refers to European royal nobility and is a metaphor that describes the profound blood appearance of the veins and skin. The term blue blood, aka Sangre Azul, has origins that may predate recorded history. It is very certain of number of factors may have created this term. Okay? The vampire Louis had blue veins. Conclusion. Okay? Who's the real blacks? Who fits the description? Is it me and you? Or is it they? Till next time. Peace, love, and light. White power.